Locked On Seminoles fans, I'm bringing an old school Cane on to discuss what it's like to have played in the old rivalry games in 88 through 92.
You are Locked On Seminoles, your daily podcast on the Florida State Seminoles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back into Locked On Seminoles. I am your host, Brian Smith. I have a special show today on game day for Miami and Florida State. Going to be talking to Caesar, Mark Caesar, one of the old school Canes, to kind of give some feedback, and also have Bruce Warner on. He's a friend of his. He's a South Florida Warrior that has followed this rivalry for most of his life. So without further ado, let's get Bruce on, and then we'll get Mark on. How you doing, sir? Mr. Bruce?
I'm doing great. Listen, I'm the truth teller on Locked On Canes with Alex Dono. But you reached out to me, and Mark's staying with me because we're going to the game tomorrow. It's homecoming.
There you go.
I know you want to know some things about the rivalry back in the day.
Absolutely.
And Mark, he's the master of those stories. I mean, he'll tell you at wide right one, he got arrested after the game. He'll tell you that story. He'll tell you the story of how he chasing the horse coming out. He's got a lot of stories. And he'll tell you about what was going on the week of the game that Florida State did that video, that rap video, kind of like the Bears.
Oh, with 88, 89, one of those.
Yeah,
years.
and then he went into the Orange Bowl and got smoked 31-0.
I remember that game.
Anyway, without further ado, here's my buddy and my guest this week at my place, Mark Caesar, former Hurricane star. Go ahead, Mark. Head in there. Say hi to Brian Smith.
Hello, Brian. How you doing?
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
So you are from Newark, New Jersey, went to West Side. You played at Miami from 88 through 92. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's as prime as it gets. I mean, like just the way the numbers worked out. When you first got to the University of Miami, they were already good. Obviously, they were coming off a title. But did you have any idea of what the rivalry was like between the Hurricanes and the Seminoles before you? I'm sure they told you about it, like on your recruiting visit, stuff like that. But did you really know what that was like?
Nah, it didn't. I mean, to actually play in the game, you actually playing the game with the history and stuff like that. Nah, we didn't know. We wasn't prepared for it at all and stuff like that. And they did that video. It kind of motivated us.
I remember that video. Dion and all of them there. Yeah,
it was a nice video and stuff like that. I always remember from that game, it's like I was a freshman. I was being redshirted, but I didn't know I was being redshirted. And the D-line coach was looking down the field, and Jimmy Jones said, "Caesar, they want you to get in the game." I shoot straight into the field. Flag, 12 men on the field. Johnson jumps right in. Went crazy on me. Didn't even know it was real. Yeah.
That would wake you up pretty quick.
Yeah.
What was your favorite memory, regardless of the season, for you against Florida State? Like, was it a road game, home game? What was the circumstance?
89, we playing at Florida State. And all week, build up. I said, they ain't pitting that the horse and the stick and stuff like that. They ain't doing that. I'm going to stop it. So when we were sitting there, we were on the sideline. Chief Oscalchi, he come out. He doing his little thing. So I run up on the horse. And he goes up. Being a kid from North, I don't see too many horses. You know what I'm saying? Like I run up, I said, I don't think I'm going to do that. Because I remember a cartoon, the horse, I'm going to get hit in the head. So I just kind of like backed off and stuff. And the police pushed us all back and all that stuff like that. I mean, that memory right there.
That's wild.
Yeah, plus the wide rights 1, wide rights 2. I always had it bad in Florida State because in 91, I was being attacked. You know what I'm saying? Casey Weldon following them was throwing ice and water and stuff. So I threw a little water. What's the name? They keep saying after the game. This was at halftime. They came in there with the police and Ed Huzak and stuff like that. Like, Caesar, calm down. I said, "Oh, I'm calm." Calm down. I said, "I'm calm." He said, "You're about to get," and stuff like that. So they gave me a little summons and all that stuff like that. Bruce got me off. Yeah.
There were wild times. That's mild for some of the Miami, Florida State players back in the day. That ice is a, and I'm sure there are other stories too.
I respect
but
Florida State the most because back then we was kicking everybody's behind, like Florida, Notre Dame. They were dropping us. Bobby Bowden still played us. And you look at the history of Miami and Florida State, like 1980, Florida State could have played for a national championship. They lost to Miami 10-9. I think it was a block extra point, something like that. Then 87, 26-25, and the wide right.
That was a great game.
I mean, Bobby Bowden could easily have about 8 championships. It wasn't for Miami, but he kept playing us and stuff like that.
Yeah, he enjoyed the rivalry and the history. Bobby, obviously, for anybody that doesn't know, he grew up idolizing Bear Bryant, and that guy didn't shy away from anything, and that was his idol, so he just kind of followed it and just took it to a different school. So when you got to Miami, I mean, high school ball, I'm sure you kicked the crap out of most guys because you were a major recruiter. You ended up at Miami. How big a step up was it physicality-wise from playing in Newark? I mean, that's a tough area. It still is. But then going to playing high-level Division I football, what's the physicality difference?
I think the physicality difference when you got to Miami, it was all about speed and stuff like that. But when you was in high school, you was faster than everybody and stuff like that. You were stronger than everybody. Then you get to college on a level like that, and used to being the strongest and the fastest. Now you may be the 15th strongest and the 15th fastest and stuff like that. You got to get in that weight room and stuff and work and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all about work and stuff like that.
Well, I know that there are a lot of guys you went up against in practice, and I'm going to guess. I mean, you went up against Cristobal. Ironically, he was on the other side, so you practiced against Mario. But was there anybody in particular you enjoyed practicing against that helped you against a team like Florida State, like Florida, like Notre Dame, like Michigan? You played all those schools. They all had NFL linemen.
You know what's funny? Cristobal, the first day of camp, we in camp. The first day of camp, we're in camp, right? And I lock because I'm 71, he's 72, right next to each other. And we get into a fight and stuff like that. Knocked down because when he came to his brother, Lou was like, yo, that's my brother. I'm like, oh, man. So Rod Carter, Randy Shannon said, yo, ain't no jump job. Y'all gonna fight one-on-one. I'm like, for real? We went to fight. To a locker room up like that. And they were sitting there enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, that's how we're going to start training. That's how we're going to start, what do you call that? When you first start?
Spring training?
No, we started for fall. We get prepared for Florida State.
Fall. 2 days.
Yeah, 2 days and stuff like that. And it was tough. But the toughest guy I like going against at Miami, and I hated him when he was at Miami. You know what I'm saying? Because every day he went hard was Casey Jones.
Oh, I remember that guy was a nasty interior guy, man.
He was so nasty. See, when I respect him so much that when he blocked him one day, I kicked him right in his groin. Boom. You know what I'm saying? That's me showing respect to him and stuff like that. Yeah, like, you're going to be all right and stuff like that. But he brought it every day. It made you bring it every day and stuff like that.
Which was the most physical college team you remember going against? Was it Michigan? Was it Notre Dame or Florida State? It had to be one of those three, I would assume.
I'm going to say Florida State, but Bama was a close second. But I'm going to say the best.
Oh, 92. 92,
Florida State and stuff like that. Well, we kicked Alabama ass in 89. Before Florida State, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like the guys knew each other. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them were recruited, and they grew up together. Yeah.
Like in the off season, I remember my senior year, we in Atlanta, and it was about some stuff about to go down, about fighting, and Tajay Wesley, there's a couple of Florida State players and me about to get into it with some other players and with some other people and stuff like that. We hung together in the off season, and they brought out the best of us. We brought the best in them, stuff like that.
What was your favorite memory from college football in general and representing the U? Just anything from the entire time you were at the University of Miami. What was your favorite part of it?
Meeting me.
Bruce, but I say Florida State. Wide right 1, wide right 2, 31-0. They beat us. I mean, it was them.
Okay. Well, that rivalry, I think it's what I told people a lot here on the Locked On Seminoles podcast. you have to respect the rivalry from the time you played and even before. Like you said, Bowden got that thing turned around. They were garbage when he got there in the mid. They were garbage. Miami wasn't very good either. Then in '78, they obviously hired Snellenberger. So that stuff kind of went together, and they were both
same time, yeah.
Got it going. And you live off one or the other being good. Like I'm sure Miami's going to win. They're going to beat Florida State. Florida State's down, but it's better for both programs if they're at least good. They don't have to be elite. But when they're down, because then you don't get any real points or respect going to the playoff. It would help Miami if Florida State was an 8-4 team this year. They're not going to sniff 6 wins, let alone 8. But I'm curious, how much did it motivate you and other players, Dwayne Johnson or anybody else? Because in the offseason, if you didn't grind that day, somebody on Florida State's team is getting ahead of you. Can you explain that to some young people, like what the motivation is like?
You know, when the schedule come out each year, the first game you look for is Florida State when we play them. Either early October or late November and stuff like that. And you don't realize everything is like, I know they had the same mentality. We beating everybody. We got to beat Miami. We got the same mentality. We beating everybody. We got to beat Florida State and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't like the fact that I was just watching ESPN yesterday. They talking about rivalries. And nobody never include Miami and Florida State. And during this era and this time, the biggest rival been Miami and Florida State and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like through the 80s, that's some of the classic games. Wild Right 1, Wild Right 2, the 2-point conversion with Bubba McDowell and all the stuff like that. I mean, they got some games, I'm saying. And then you got to talk about the players that played these games and stuff like that. Deion Sanders, Marvin Jones, Derrick Brooks, you got the Warren Sapps and the Michael Irvins and stuff. I remember Mike said Deion got famous because he stuck him for a play and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the shit talking on both sides and stuff like that. It's something special. Yeah.
I love that stuff. And that's why I followed it so much. I mean, I grew up in the North too, and I still followed that rivalry because it was just fun. Yeah. I don't care which team you rooted for, just from the perspective of enjoying the game of football. Like you said, there's obviously elite talent, but they didn't take any plays off. It was a big deal, like Michael is as good a competitor I think there's ever been playing football when he was at UM and with the Cowboys, etc. But that's kind of the standard. And that's why I think football is still competitive, but I'm not sure the same level and pride for the helmet is remotely in play today at a lot of schools. There's too many guys that are mercenaries, and it's not the same to me. To that point, you're going to the game with Bruce tomorrow. It's a rivalry game, homecoming, and all that. How often do you all get together as players in some way? Obviously this weekend, but is it something that's common? Do you guys stay together and talk all the time? What's the deal with that?
We got like this app called WhatsApp. You got all the hurricanes on there that we be talking every day. Which people happy birthdays. This like with the kid Mark Fletcher, his father just passed.
Yeah, that was terrible. I know Mark. Great kid.
Like that, and it's like it's from everybody. It's like they don't care who you are. You could be the first ballot Hall of Famer. They getting on you. It's like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? This is a brotherhood. Every year they have a reunion that the coach at Florida State, Mark.
Mark Richt.
Mark Richt, I'm saying, started. He brought the players back and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then when he started doing it, because a lot of times during them years with the Al Goldens and stuff like that, is like they're really from Penn State, so they wanted to trace that tradition. We don't want them guys here. You know what I'm saying? Them guys are criminals. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we the criminals, Catholics versus convicts and stuff like that. So they try to get away from that. So now with Mark, and so then he had Manny, and then now you got Mario. They pushing past, and like I said, you got Michael Irvin, a Hall of Famer, on the sideline every weekend. This weekend they got Ray Lewis coming in, and when you listen to them guys talk, it motivates me. I can go out there and give you 4 plays. You know what I'm saying? Only 4, no more like that. Yeah, it's good. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, it's against Florida State. A lot of people predicting Miami to kill Florida State. I'm saying this is a rivalry. It's gonna be a lot closer than people think it's gonna be. I got Miami winning 56-14. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot closer.
Yeah, that's a lot closer. Yeah, stuff like that.
I don't think it'll be very close either. Florida State's got quarterback and O-line problems. They're rebuilding their program. The coaching staff has completely screwed it up. That's on them. And if they don't fix it some point next year, they'll be gone. That's how this works.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've seen it with Miami going through guys like Manny, et cetera. They haven't done the right things in recruiting and evaluation. That's on you.
Y'all gonna get Deion. College football will be in trouble.
I don't know what the deal is with him. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he wants to continue coaching or not. Deion's hard to read. I don't know if he just wants to follow his son once he gets the. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But Deion's got so many connections to the Cowboys, stuff like that. I always wondered if he might work in the front office, but who knows? He is South Florida. He went to North Fort Myers High, so anything's possible. Anything's possible. Well, man, I appreciate you both coming on. I just wanted to give folks like a perspective of what some of that was like. Because like I'm 51, I'm similar to your age. So I know from watching it, and I know some of the players that have played in these games, but I wanted Florida State fans to get a perspective from the other side. But thank you for talking about the respect of the rivalry, because it is very important in college football history that the Florida State-Miami rivalry gets its props. So, Mr. Caesar, I truly, truly appreciate it. Any last words?
Deion, the second greatest athlete, come out of Fort Myers. You know that, right?
Who's number one?
Big Nasty, Kelvin Harris. I'm just joking. Nah, like I said, there's going to be a show tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Is that we have to go out and take this game. Stuff like that. We have to go out and hitting on all cylinders and stuff like that. If not, they can easily just knock us off. Stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate it to both of you. Thank you very much. Everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to this podcast. Mark, hang on with me just a second. Everybody have a good one. Enjoy the game.